What if Naruto was Indra and Ashura's reincarnation, part 3? Now, this is where stuff really starts to pick up. Now that Naruto is officially on his path to become a shinobi, he's actually gonna give his best. And I would say him and Sasuke have an ongoing rivalry if, well, Sasuke would actually manage to become a rival for Naruto. Naruto is just way too OP. Like, realistically, Sasuke has no chance. I mean, Naruto is stronger than his teachers at this point, and, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, seriously. If you thought Naruto had plot armor and became very quickly strong in the original story, yeah, you're not ready for this. It's about 1 year into the academy, and Naruto is basically on the level of a Jonin at this point. I mean, he has all but mastered chakra control, knows many jutsus. His taijutsu is insane, especially his speed. And all in all, he is just incredible. The only issue is he lacks experience, especially in actual fighting. Now, sure, he has done some sparring, but no one really on his level. The closest thing he could get to someone on his level was in his mindscape. You know how he fought Kurama in the original story? Well, they found out that they can use this as a sparring. And so Naruto regularly spars against Ashura or Indra, and has actually sparred against Kurama a few times. But since Kurama is so big, Naruto ends up just running circles around him until he gets tired. So fighting Indra or Ashura is much more interesting. So yeah, all in all, he got strong. And whilst at first Sasuke was in denial, thinking that it was a fluke, in reality, if he really used his powers, his Uchiha powers, like the Sharingan, he would have won. But after 3 more months of realizing that Naruto is getting stronger day by day, he stopped that and realized, yeah, if I really want to consider myself even a rival, I'm gonna need to up my game. And so this rivalry actually pushed Sasuke much further, as in canon he was just there. I mean, sure, he wanted to overthrow Itachi and kill him for his misdeeds at some point, but here the threat was right in front of him every day. Not just a distant memory from years ago, but he would meet and talk to him every day. Well, not really talk. Sasuke wasn't a huge fan of Naruto, but they could have if they wanted to. Naruto wasn't hostile to Sasuke, but, you know, they weren't huge friends. And so, whenever Sasuke did approach Naruto, he was friendly, but he wouldn't be the one to approach him, as to not spark more conflict. All of this made Naruto more popular amongst his teachers, his fellow students, and even some of the villagers. Sure, most of them really didn't like Naruto still, but some of them at least considered that, well, he's a powerful shinobi, we could definitely use him in the future. And so, he wasn't, well, accepted into the village, but he was appreciated by some. Now, skipping to a little more interesting stuff, we see him doing something in the Uchiha massacre. Now, yes, I am aware that canonically it would have already happened quite a bit ago. I believe it started like 2 weeks after Sasuke started the academy? 2 weeks before or after, I'm not sure. I think it was after he started the academy. But we're gonna ignore that, and this time it happens about 1 year after the academy starts. I'm just gonna say that somehow things cooled down a little bit when the academy started, and the heir of the Uchiha clan went into the academy and kind of united with the other Uchiha kids. And I don't know, that somehow cooled down relations with the Uchiha and the rest of the Konoha, and so everything was postponed by about 1 year. Until obviously our favorite character Danzo gave off the order to Itachi to, well, stop the rebellion, if you will. The coup d'etat, if you will. And so, with all this happening, obviously Naruto is present here, so Sasuke. Sasuke had started training now, so he's quite a bit stronger than in canon, but not hugely. He most definitely won't do anything to Itachi or anyone of the light, and is still only a spectator. But all this training does mean he's more confident, and perhaps less shaken up. Naruto, on the other hand, felt that something was wrong. Ashura and Kurama had helped Naruto gain very good control of his chakra, and so he noticed shifts in it. Now, this is going to be kind of like the Force in Star Wars, and I'm going to take inspiration from it. But imagine shifts in the Force, like from good to bad, dark side, good, light side, whatever. But imagine that in chakra. So I'm going to imagine this, that, well, Uchiha, we know obviously you have the Sharingan. The Sharingan is a very different kind of chakra than most. We saw that it is filled with hate and anger, sadness, and obviously Naruto can now feel that. And so noticing that it's going away, and that would usually be a good thing. I mean, anger and sadness going away would be great, but it's going at an immense rate, and it feels different than just slight changes in mood. Rather, it feels like people are dying. And so when this continues for about 5 minutes, constantly actually getting faster, Naruto is worried and goes to the Uchiha compound, the most prominent suspect, as it is the most hate-filled place at the moment. But what he sees is shocking. Streets filled with blood and bodies of Uchiha, a lot of whom he actually knows, or knew, rather. And so he continues walking, but is still noticing a shift in the chakra. And so it must be still going on. So he starts running faster and faster, and goes through many alleys, until he finds Itachi about to enter a home, still with the lights on. You can hear children playing inside. As it was already evening, probably some sort of party. But Itachi was about to, ruin the place. But Naruto could not let that happen. And so he dashed forward, tackling Itachi, not knowing who it was from the distance. As he merely saw a man holding a bloody kunai, he could never be sure. But then he backed off, seeing as it was Itachi, a well-respected shinobi. And one that Naruto knew, obviously, as it is Sasuke's brother. And Itachi did actually once go up to Naruto, congratulating him on defeating Sasuke in their sparring match, which made Naruto feel really happy. And so he always kind of liked Itachi for just being kinder than everyone else, or at least that's what it seemed like. He asked what was going on, why was everyone gone, who did this, and was Itachi hurt? There was blood on his clothes, so I'm sorry, Naruto. As before Itachi could answer any of Naruto's questions, he started dozing off and hit the ground. But not before Itachi caught him and laid him down slowly, continuing his conquest, if you will. But Naruto was not going to let that happen. He would not be defeated so easily. 1 millisecond after he was knocked out, time seemed to slow, and he talked to Ashura, Indra, and Kurama, even though no time at all passed in the real world. Well, almost no time. About 2 seconds passed in real life, whilst in Naruto's conversation, about 10 minutes passed. And from that he had concluded he would fight Itachi. The 3 spirits who had guided him the past 1.5, about 2 years now, told him exactly what happened. Itachi put him in a genjutsu. And so he was most likely the one to blame for this massacre. Naruto didn't want to believe it at first, but after thinking about it, he had been a little different for a while now, and he knew about his friend passing. And so, was it really that far-fetched? It really wasn't. Naruto woke up with Itachi nowhere in sight, but still, he heard the children playing, And so once again, he dashed at Itachi, first going up the stairs, and then tackling him once again. This time, not just to be sure, this time to attack Itachi. Itachi didn't expect Naruto to wake up that fast, and so he was completely startled, even more than the first time. But Naruto was aggressive and started punching Itachi's face with both of his fists sitting on his chest. But Itachi wasn't going to let that slide. He once again tried to use his Sharingan abilities, this time not even knocking him out for a few seconds. No, not at all. This time, it did absolutely nothing. And actually, something weird happened. Naruto's eyes flared red for a second. The red that was seen in Uchiha's eyes of the Sharingan. He didn't have the Sharingan, at least not to his knowledge or Itachi's knowledge, but it was right there. That was the redness of the Sharingan. And for a second, Naruto's vision was kind of weird. But that would be speculation for another day. For now, he was fighting one of the strongest shinobi in the village. But he had been preparing for this, or at least something like it. He had imagined what a Jonin or an Anbu would fight like, though never in a small space like this, with kids watching him from the sideline, and so he could not risk collateral damage at all. Why? Why did you do this? Naruto screamed, as he actually started to have tears run down his face. Naruto didn't like the Uchiha, but he didn't mind them. He definitely knew what it felt like not being liked by the rest of the village and being looked down upon, even banished to some degree. And so the Uchiha also kind of sympathized with him. That and the fact that it was just a huge shock that Itachi would do something like this. Naruto knew the tensions between Konoha and Uchiha were very high, especially right now. But something like this, it's outrageous, especially Itachi, who is doing this to his own family. Now, Naruto and Itachi would continue to fight, as Naruto once again tried to tackle Itachi, this time out the window. But Itachi simply dodged, as Naruto flew out of the building, and Itachi once again tried to finish his business. But Naruto had been practicing running quite a bit, and so he ran up the stairs like no other, and uppercut Itachi. But when Itachi sliced back with his kunai, Naruto simply poofed, as this was not the real one. The real one came out of the floor and uppercut Itachi once more, this time much heavier. And this was indeed the real Naruto, blocking and dodging any attack thrown at him. And now Itachi was done for. Seeing that this fight would be very difficult, much more difficult than he anticipated, he used a flame jutsu that would probably light a fire to this building and everything near it. So Naruto would be preoccupied saving these kids. But that didn't succeed. When Itachi was about to use the jutsu and blow out air that would become the fire, Naruto smashed his hands against Itachi's mouth, closing it shut, pushing him to the ground. And then Naruto once again had the upper hand, this time with Itachi being out of tricks. He could only run away, and so he had to. Suddenly, a crow went through the window that was now smashed by Naruto, and used Amaterasu, which made Naruto's clothes start to burn with a black flame that would not go out no matter what he did. And so immediately he threw his outer jacket out the window, careful so it doesn't light a fire to any other building. But by then, he looked back and Itachi was gone, along with the crow. Luckily though, the kids were safe. Naruto made 5 clones that would secure the perimeter, with 3 of them staying close and protecting the 5 kids. But the real Naruto would go out and venture for survivors, and that Itachi was gone. But what he saw was worse than expected. There was, again, a light. This one in Sasuke's house. Or rather, the house of the leader of the Uchiha clan. When entering, he saw Sasuke. In front of him, Itachi, standing on top of the corpses of his father and mother, Fugaku and Mikoto Uchiha. Sasuke passed out, either from stress or genjutsu, probably the latter, and Itachi left. Naruto went back to make sure that the kids were safe, and then sent out 10 more clones to look for any survivors. But that was it. No one was left. It was Sasuke and these 5 kids that would carry on the Uchiha name. The rest were brutally massacred by Itachi Uchiha, now fugitive and soon to be part of the Akatsuki. A few days later, the 5 kids and Sasuke would all be in a hospital, waking up one by one. As the 5 kids didn't really have that many injuries, a lot of it was just shock, which is when Sasuke swore revenge on Itachi. At the same time, he also saw Naruto in a different light now. He had been there. He had saved 5 Uchiha kids from his brother's wrath. They would start to have a different kind of relationship. Before they were more of rivals, now Sasuke had much more respect for Naruto. They could actually become sort of friends. No, they weren't besties, but compared to what they were before, or a year ago, it was day and night. And Naruto was really happy with this, and he also got along with the 5 kids he rescued. Of course, they were infinitely thankful to him, but all of them were hit by their friends' and family's death. Especially Sasuke, who obviously it had been by his own brother. And at first, some of the kids disliked Sasuke for it. His brother was the one that killed their family. But after about a week, all of them would realize that was not the truth. It wasn't Sasuke's fault. He had no control over his older brother. And so they had to live with the fact they were now the only remaining Uchiha, the 6th of them, as well as Naruto, seen as their protector. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.